We didn't understand the Indian customer. The Indian customer is very different. Nobody wants to share their username password. Even in US, nobody shares that. I think most of it changed in 2008, 2010 timeframe. That's when things started to kick off. I think whatever career path you take up, right? Try to master whatever you are doing, right? Get into the thick of things, get into the details. You will not like it, you will not enjoy it, fine, move on. But if you're doing what you're doing, give it 100%. Just get in. Once you get to the campus, life kind of takes over. The responsibilities kind of take over. Make mistakes, learn, try out different things, and then cherish those memories, right? Because after that, things go in all different directions. It's 7 years of my career in working in a certain way for a certain thing, and I've learned a bunch of things, right? What else can be done? If you get some of the fundamental things right, and you are in a market which is growing, you're in a market which is large enough, growth will come.
My name is Kapil Bharati. I am from 2000 IT Delhi mechanical batch. Currently, I am the CTO and the co-founder at Delhivery Limited. So I keep visiting campus. I was here maybe a few months ago. We do alumni squash events. Delhivery sponsors some of them, and I participate. So yes, I'm here pretty much every 3 to 6 months. We've been sponsoring the IT Delhi alumni team, both the boys and the girls team. I've been associated with them for over 5 years now. And every time we do any tournament which IT Delhi kicks off in a sports event, we participate as one of the alumni team members, and we give a tough fight to youngsters right now. Yeah. But going to your previous question, when you asked how much has the campus changed, the campus has changed a lot. I know there's some wonderful lecture halls. The lecture halls are all air conditioned now. They're pretty good. They're huge. The intake of students has gone up a lot. I think the facilities, like the sports facility that I visited recently, it's simply amazing. It's superb. I see a lot more people, a lot more places to eat, and a lot more happening each time I visit the campus. Otherwise, from my days, if I remember it, the second half used to be, just some of us sitting in the wind tunnel or in the X hall. But now I see a lot of movement, so which is good. There weren't many. Started the base corner, so my nick was J-Ski. Wind tunnel and the X hall were the key ones. I used to hang a lot in the CSC. I don't know if that's still around or not, the computer lab. And in the third and the fourth year, I think I got access to the M.tech lab, so I used to sit out of there. But X hall and the Winty were the key areas. Yeah. It helped a lot. I think we don't realize the value in the very first few years of your career, right? So I joined Sapient as a company. We were 13 of us from campus who got directly placed at Sapient. The first 6 months, 1 year was just like extension of college. 13 of us working together on same project, etc. But it's only over time that these experiences and the brand name starts to really matter a lot. So when I was between jobs, so I did Sapient, did 2 startups, didn't work out that well. Went back to Sapient, took a break for 1 year or so. That's when it was really, really helpful. So any time I wanted to reach out or tap into any discussion with any of the alumni, drop a note on LinkedIn, drop an email through a contact, everybody was available. Everybody would just open the doors, have the first discussion, give the right guidance. I think real value starts coming in when you realize after a few years that this community that we have, which is not just people with whom we graduated with, but there are people who are senior to us, people who are junior to us. I think that community is something which is very, very powerful. And of course, the brand, unlocks, a lot of discussions. People, suddenly have a trust kind of thing with you. Or if you're from so-and-so college, so-and-so background, fair enough, these few things are already given. Academically, the person will be strong, can this person be trustworthy? Yes. So those things are just taken as granted. So that did help us a lot, especially when, during the startups, initial fundraising process. It helps now also. A few things, right? I think the curriculum, the way it is structured, right? There are a lot of things that are happening, the minor 1, minor 2, major, bunch of things happen in the middle. And there are hundreds of different things that continue to happen in during the course of the semester, right? Their events, their socials, we want to go for a movie or whatever it is, right? And I'm sure those things have anyways, quadrupled by now, what that used to be earlier. But at the same time, we would figure out, what to do, what not to do, where to spend more time, where to spend less time. I think the juggling around between different things was very interesting. I think that definitely helped a lot. Because when you do different startup, when you initial days, you got to try a lot of things. But do meet people, manage team, look at financials, look at the code you're building on, review the code, a bunch of things going on. And you don't have time to, really step back, at least in the initial days, and then think through a lot. I think we were kind of geared up for that. The other thing which comes to my mind is whenever there are new technologies which can be used to disrupt some of the existing things, I think the basic question around, the first principles, how do I solve this problem? That kind of thing was also kind of ingrained into us during those 4 years, because we would always question things. Our problem solving would typically start from, let's list our assumptions, let's think about it, and then let's start solving the problem, right? I think those few things really matter a lot. Although I do feel from an entrepreneurship point of view, I hope things are changed now, but a lot more can be taught. I think our curriculum should be able to add a lot more things to give a flavor of what it really means. It's not only about solving a problem using technology. Of course, a lot of things can be solved, but there are a lot of other things around it, right? How do you do the right pitch? How do you raise capital? What is the product market fit? What does it mean? The exposure to some of those things would have been great, in my opinion. Right, I didn't think there were a lot of people right out of college who went into startups. I remember one of my seniors reached out to me when I was in 4th year or just out of college, and they're like, come, let's build this website. I think it was something on a portal of job portal or something. Didn't get too excited, did some work, then just stepped back. But I think there should be more such initiatives. I think that kind of thing has to be encouraged a lot more. Samthyas was there. I don't think I was super active. There was a robotic exhibition. I did participate in that. There was SA club. There were a few such clubs. But those clubs were, I don't think overall the clubs are that active. I do see the some of the clubs have interacted with some of the students. I think 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe last 4 or 5 years, the EV Formula racing cars, right? I think there's the team of people, I think 25. I met them in other workshops also were there. They were so much into it, they could understand how to set it up. They were participating at global events. I don't think we ever took the club that seriously. So for that perspective, things have changed for the good. So academically, the discipline, etc., the education discipline, those things set aside. I think the hustle during the whole semester, that is one part of it. But yeah, a lot of learnings also came in my last year, if I think about it. I think the B.tech project, I don't think they still have it now, but they still have it good. The B.tech project of mine was in vibrational statistical analysis of signals coming from bearing points of a nuclear power plant. And I worked with Professor J.S. around that one. So we're writing a software, looking at building certain algorithms, and then packaging a complete end-to-end solution, which was deployed first at Baba Atomic, where we gave a demo. Then we deployed it at Kakapara Atomic Power Station in Surat. I mean, that experience, that 1 year, was wonderful. Because like any software, there were bugs. Like any software, people would know, there are multiple iterations. The last minute when we were deploying in the Atomic Power Station, we identified a huge problem in the code. And we had last minute, we were changing, and we had an old laptop and kind of struggling to get that done. Then you publish a paper on top of it. How do you communicate? How do you deal with such situations? How do you manage different stakeholders which are, not our friends, not our professor, not our faculty, but, completely external strangers who were not too excited about seeing more, or they were not, they didn't expect much from that project, right? And they were going and talking to them. And of course, Professor Rao was something really pushing hard for that. I think that last 1 year was something, a lot of learnings over there, which kind of held on for a long time. So let me tell you a few things, right? If it's more from a startup advice point of view, one, whenever you're picking up, so typically which are seen as engineers, we have this typical problem. We have a solution in mind, and then we are going around looking for a problem. Hey, this is a wonderful, beautiful technology. There's a lot of Gen AI stuff now, right? There are a lot of new things that I can do on mobile app now. So I have already have a solution in mind. I'm looking around, scouting for problem. I think we got to change that out. There are really long, big, painful problems in pretty much every industry out there, which needs to be re-looked at, needs to be rethought through. I think people need to change that perspective, right? When we started Delhivery, we entered a market when e-commerce was just shaping up. Cash on delivery was a big problem. The remittance to the seller who was selling on different channels at that time, different marketplaces at that time, used to be around 2 months or a month and a half or so. We said, how can we cut that lead time so that the cash flows for the sellers who are actually selling the good goes to, maybe 1 day or 2 days. So that's the kind of challenge we set for ourselves. But as we started getting into the logistics problem, we said, okay, how big is the market? Is the TAM, the underlying, the overall market, the target market that we're looking at, is that large enough, right? And if you think about logistics, it is, if our GDP of, let's say, 3.5 or 4 trillion, around 10% of it goes into logistics, right? We said that's a huge market. That's a $300 billion market, right? So even if I get started, even if I start small, or even if I pick up one area of this whole market, the chances of me becoming large are very, very high. So when you're looking at areas, look at, what is the underlying market size? Is it large enough? Is there a potential to grow a lot or not? So we started as an e-commerce last mile. Currently we do e-commerce parcels, express parcels, PTL, FTL, warehousing, cross-border, getting into rapid delivery similar to what quick commerce does, getting into delivery direct, what a portal kind of a thing does, intracity movement, etc. And we build all these businesses over a period of time because we are in that particular industry, and the core problems, which is moving goods from point A to point B, fundamentally remain the same. The layers on top of it changes. And that's how we build the stack also. From the very, very early on, when we started looking at building the technical stack, designing the right network, understanding what are the key 3 or 4 big fundamental problems. We said addresses is a big problem, location is a big problem, capacity is a big problem, the way people are running a network is a big problem. That's why we must have spent maybe around 4 or 5 years, just the first 4 or 5 years, in solving some of those things, right? And we scaled wonderfully well since then. Just to give you an example, it took us, in the first 5 years, cumulatively, we would have delivered around 100 million shipments. So it took us 5 years to get to 100 million shipments. Last month of September this year, we delivered 104 million shipments just in 1 month. So if you get some of the fundamental things right, and you are in a market which is growing, you are in a market which is large enough, growth will come. I think another thing that Quality did well, even back then, they pushed us to dream big. I think if you have a vision that is large enough, one can, make large companies, build large organizations, make great, successful startups that make money, they're profitable, and are also helpful to a larger economy. I think that somehow was inculcated in us, right? I vividly remember, the very first session that we had in the college. I know Professor Subbarao, he started with us only at that time. In the mechanical, he took a thermodynamic class. But before that, Professor Kale was there, and he gave an orientation speech. I don't remember exactly what he said, but coming out of that whole 15-20 minute discussion, I'm like, wow, man, if you do things right, this is going to be amazing. I think those are some of the things, which really push us, and that was kind of, something which I took away from during that time. Yeah. So for us, the life was just within the campus, right? Life was just with the friends. I think there were no other external pressures. Once you get out of the campus, life kind of takes over. The responsibilities kind of take over. So, those 4 years, if you can enjoy it, really, really enjoy, because, you have a great environment, a protected environment in some way. You have great faculty, professors who are there to look out for you, course correct you, make mistakes, learn, try out different things, and cherish those memories, right? Because after that, things go in all different directions. So I was with a company called Sapien for almost 7, 8 years, being comfortably well over there. But I think I found we just sort of got a plateau. And I thought I kind of maxed out over there. Is the way I look at it. It was same set of projects, same set of deliverables, and yes, there were Fortune 100 companies. There was a lot of interesting travel, a lot of industry domains. But the question was, hey, what else can I do? I have, spent 7, 8 years of my career in working in a certain way for a certain thing, and I've learned a bunch of things, right? What else can be done? So this is when I was talking to a friend of mine who was based in the US, basically, a batchmate of mine. And we're like, yeah, there's an interesting company in the US. They do aggregate, financial information, and they give one view to that, right? I think it was min.com, if I remember it correctly. So I said, yeah, that's interesting. That's something we should do in India also. That's how we started off. So just said, fine, let's just, exit our jobs. We both exit our jobs. We kicked it off. It's a different thing that within 6 months, we both wrapped it up. It wasn't going anywhere. We didn't understand the market at all. We didn't understand the Indian customer. The Indian customer is very different. Nobody wants to share the username and password. Even in US, nobody shares that. The banking infrastructure in the country wasn't that, it was evolving. It's a wrong time to start something. People were starting to getting funding at that time. I think that was 2007 or 2008. I think most of it changed in 2008, 2010 timeframe. That's when things started to kick off. And I feel that hadn't been the US or some other geography, maybe one would have started even earlier. But I think at the right time, when I left my first job, I was in that mode where I said, yes, I can build things from scratch. I don't need to build software for companies which already are running at a certain level and then I'm trying to upgrade them. Building things from scratch is very different. You don't know who your buildings are. You don't know if people will adopt to it or not. You build something today, you will scratch it out tomorrow. And then, you don't need to feel bad about it. That's okay. The customer doesn't like it, just move on. So I think the first two startups taught me all those things. And by the time we started Delhivery, when I joined Delhivery, I was the last co-founder over there in 2011. We were already doing Delhi NCR. We have 2-3 facilities. We were doing around 200 odd shipments, 100 shipments a day, I think. And we were building the backend system. They were all broken. And it kind of fitted right where I wanted to be. I'm like, okay, this is exactly the problem which kind of excites me. And all of us felt that e-commerce is going to be big, logistics is going to be big. We just jumped into it. I think what we're doing right now is one very good way to, give back to the college, just sharing experiences, allowing these students to interact more and more with the alums, formal, informal ways. I think right now it's more of a formal thing, but if those kind of things can be opened up a lot, that definitely helps a lot. That helps people shape up, okay, these are also the options that are available. These are other industries that are available. These are some of the things that one can be doing. The financial aspect definitely is there. I think what we're doing with the endowment fund, I think IT Theory was a bit late to that party, but glad that it's been set up. But I think that is something which is very interesting, right? Because that gives the comfort to the alumni, saying, hey, there's a dedicated fund which is just looking at alumni, looking at the interest, and also trying to give back, in an unbiased fashion back to the college. And there are various ways to do it. It doesn't need to be necessarily in terms of research. I think that definitely matters a lot. But like the new SAC, right? The new sports facility, the sort of Mithila setup, that's, I think, amazing. I think so. And there are different places where one can invest in, right? I think campus life should be rich with not only just, education, but a mix of all different cultural and all different sports activities, right? Financially, we should start looking at that. From a research and a collaboration point of view, also, I think there are wonderful ways in one can look at, right? I think we had some discussions today. We do a lot of things. We have access to a lot of resources. How can that be leveraged by the campus? Can we collaborate on certain things together? Can we look at certain patents together? I think those are other ways, which we alums from an industry point of view and college both can benefit a lot. So I think we're in the right direction. Now we just need to accelerate it. I think if there's one thing, if let's say I have to give to 20 myself also, if I go back in time, I think, whatever job you get into, whatever career path you take, I think every career is wonderful, no doubt about it. You go on entrepreneurship, you pick a job, you go further research, you go further studies, you go MBA, etc., whatever. I think whatever career path you take up, right, try to master whatever you are doing, right? Get into the thick of things, get into the details. You may not like it, you may not enjoy it, fine, move on. But if you're doing what you're doing, give it your 100%. Just get into it. And just say, I'll come back and I'll master this domain, or I'll master this technology. I'll create create relationships, whatever it is that matters the most to you. I think that's what I would ask, tell people that, it's okay whatever you do, but whatever you do, make the full use of it. It helps out later. All those things just add up.